Hello everyone, this is the Good Captain. Welcome to another video in my LP of campaign series, West Front. Operation Sealion is the name of the linked campaign game that we're playing here. This is now mission number 5 in that series after 4 major victories, and the title of this mission, not good at remembering them, is To Assault or Not to Assault. So, we'll read the historical and then go through the scenario analysis. So, D+2 leads 34 kilometers west of Canterbury. After the successful capture of Canterbury, our forces are making good progress toward London. The 6th Mountain Division is clearing what remains of the enemy in the southeast. After scrounging up some transport from other areas, your battalion, along with elements of the 18th Panzer Regiment, has been ordered to advance toward Maidstone. En route, clear as many enemy strongpoints as possible. Avoid heavily defended areas. Forward progress is of the utmost importance. Okay. Visibility is 10 because there's a light rain. We have 18 turns, so yeah, this is fewer turns than the previous scenario. And our point units, these units right here, are 31 hexes. You can tell by, reading the bottom numbers here. 31 hexes from the left side of the board edge. And the reason that's interesting is because there's an exit victory location here. 14 hexes above from the bottom. So we have to ride this sort of hypotenuse of a triangle. And so, yeah, we need to be doing something in the ballpark of, at least 2 to 3 hexes of movement per turn without let up if we're to get to that hex. Okay, but before we get into how we're going to win this thing, let's do the analysis. So the first up is the map overview, and I always like to look at the elevation first. So it appears that we are at least slightly incentivized to advance through this valley. And it is a valley. We're coming off of this elevation, and if we advanced along this route, we would drop down 1 elevation before exiting. So, on our right side, or the north side of this map, it actually goes up by 3 elevations from our starting elevation. So 1, 2, 3. And to our left side, it goes up by 1. So this is pretty dominating up here. Not so much down here. Also noticed how deep the access to this scenario is. I mean, in terms of going into places, or options of moving about the map, there's quite a few, just by dint of the fact that the thing is not only tall but wide, or not only wide but tall, right? So it's 32 hexes tall by 49 hexes wide. So yeah, it's wider, but it also has some height to it as well. Okay, so significant terrain. Or is there a takeaway on the elevation? I don't think so, not right now, at least. I mean, if we advance down the valley, we can be seen by units that are saddling it, but there's not much to, not any major takeaways, at least not at first glance. Significant terrain. there are some, well, there's pieces of terrain that you can always miss, but one that sticks out is Leeds Castle. So this thing is up on its own elevation, and can see quite a bit. The reason I'm saying this is there's some evidence to, I mean, if I just read the historical, and it said something about bypassing or don't avoid heavily defended areas. Okay, so that means there's heavily defended areas, plural, right? At least I think we should take the hint. Let's assume there's heavily defended areas. And, sorry. Okay, and I'm assuming this is going to be one of them. I'm assuming there's going to be some big gun in there. It's got a, pretty good TEM. 0.6, of course 0.5 would be the worst one, but okay, 0.6. But anyway, I consider this a key piece of terrain also because of the hex range it covers. So even if we avoided this, even if we didn't touch this thing, we would still have an issue moving towards the exit victory location, given the amount of observation this position puts out onto the last, 6 hex stretch towards the exit location. So I'll talk about how I'm going to deal with this later in this analysis. Okay, in terms of a key piece of terrain, I consider that to be a key piece of terrain. So the objectives, well, this is where it's not that impressive. There are 4, but they're only worth a collective value of 150. The 2 50-point locations are in Harriet Sham, which is the largest, most substantial village in this area, and of course Leeds Castle, which we just discussed. The other 2 minor locations are Hollingsbourne, which are this one's up on the elevation here, coming out of the hills with this route, paved road going into or coming down from the hills, depending on how you look at it. And the other one is Spittle Crouch, the factory there in industrial. Okay, not much of a takeaway there. We're not heavily incentivized to head down this way, given that there is an exit victory location and the lower value of these objectives. Oh, I should have said relative to what we're expected to do, which is 600. That's a lot. That demands exit points. That really does demand it. Like, I'm not kidding around this time. That does seem to insist that there's no way to do this but to do that, but to exit units. I mean, if we had all of the victory locations, we'd still need 450. And of course, after you capture all the objectives, the only place you can get victory points from is destroying enemy units. And I've been wrong before, but 450, at least at the time of this recording, seems a bit high. Now, it's probably not a bit high if there's as much resistance as there was in the last scenario. But, well, I guess we'll just have to see. Support. Air units, yes, we have some, and thank God they're all one type, so we know what we're getting. Ju-87s, Stukas. So that could be nice. Artillery units available. Yes, we have our old janky friends, the 75mm mountain guns. Two of them, oh, yeah, two of them. They have our 81 millimeter mortars, but oh my God, look at this. We actually have off-board 150 millimeter guns. That's awesome. And what a relief. What a relief. As soon as I saw that, I looked for the smoke option and saw that there was 0. So that made my stomach drop. But okay, that's okay. Not every scenario has smoke. That's for sure. But okay, so now that we've talked about all of that, victory. What is the plan? How will we attack? Do we have enough time relative to every other factor to accomplish what we need to accomplish with a major victory? Well, I'm not sure how to go about this scenario. Now I've done plenty of highway clearing scenarios, but that's just what they've been, clearing the highway. There seems to be a lot of evidence to show that maybe not engaging as thoroughly or not engaging at all is the way to go. And by that I also mean the supporting document that comes with this linked campaign game. Let me zoom it in a little. Seems to say it is, or seems to lean towards that as well. So let's just read this real quick. A victory at Canterbury sends the battalion in borrowed transport along the South Highway toward Maidstone. Capturing the village of Harrietsham and Leeds Castle is only secondary to advancing as quickly as possible toward Maidstone. Success sends the player to the Battle of Maidstone, whereas failure brings the battalion to the Doddington scenario. So, again, reading between the lines, there's this subtlety that we should be aware of, that it's, the main thing you need to do is get units off the map. So I'm getting this message twice. I feel like once in the scenario analysis, the historical, and once here. And of course, there's some subtleties to be read into the distance that needs to be traveled and the point value that can be gained by merely engaging in a normal highway clearing operation. So while I was looking around the map to just uncover what could be done, you notice one thing immediately, which is this vast road network in the hinterland, and especially this one here that I'm sort of pathing out. Okay? This seems to be what is, I think, being alluded to. And so yeah, that I'm going to take the hint, or what I hope is the hint, and exploit this. As best I can, but there's a problem in getting up there, essentially. So to get up there, I'll just sort of track along these hexes here to show visually what I mean. So here's our motorcycle platoon. The next hex is seen by this fortified position. Then we can move along, and we get up here, and we're immediately seen by this. Now this hex is otherwise innocuous, except for the fact that there's trenches in there. So there's definitely an enemy presence in the village of Leafham or Leafham. And if you know anything about this game, know this, that being shot at while on transport is like the worst thing you can do, and should just essentially never be risked. You can lose, it's not like you just lose the lead truck and the other ones, and the troops bail out of the other ones. No, the whole unit can be eliminated. You can lose everything very quickly if you move about in motorized transport. I've just taken, I mean, this is something you learn very quickly if you've played this game at all, but take it from me, who's played this game perhaps too much, that is not something you want to do. And the same is true for down here. We start out immediately under observation from these locations. Why am I saying this? Because we don't know what's in there. I don't know if it's just rifle platoons, or it could be 40 millimeters. Uh, and frankly, at least for the first opening moves, it is insane to take the risk of assuming that there's not some sort of gun or artillery or anti-aircraft in these hexes. So my opening moves will be twofold. Two, one, take the village of Lefam and spittle crouch in the process. I just want to clear out these forward positions to allow safe access to utilize this road here to jump up into the hills to have a chance to flank. Okay. This ties in nicely with what I'm going to say about these reinforcements, which we do have. We get a company of motorcycle platoon troops on turn 3, and then a company of Panzer IV-Ds with some AA half-tracks, which is helpful because what I just said about being motorized in truck transport, air attacks can be extraordinarily damaging when you're packed up like that. So I'm going to take a quick break and then I'll tell you what my plan is. So be right back. Yo, I'm back. So yeah, what we're going to do is I'm going to deploy my units down here on the south edge of this map. Or at least these lead units, and then we'll see what fire they draw as they advance down the railway. And then the follow-on units, I might use trucks to move up a little bit and then unload. But the whole purpose is going to be to use this group here and one company in the motorcycle platoon from up here to clear out everything from Lifeham to Spittle Crouch. So these forward positions will be destroyed and eliminated, ID'd, eliminated. Okay, so that by the time my reinforcements come on, actually didn't check out the hex. Okay, 4926. Oh, big surprise. Oh no, they're up here. Hey, that's good. Okay, great. So the reinforcements are going to come on up here, which is good. But yeah, I don't want any interference from these initial fighting positions. See how this one here can see all these hexes. And this one can see some key hexes. Also, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I don't want the entire scenario to be me driving in a big loop with every unit I have around the flank. But that's where I'm scrolling across here is the route I've decided to take with the units that do go flank. And then, of course, let's talk about Leeds Castle. I mentioned that earlier. This is be my final note. The way to approach the exit victory location will be via going northwest after Hollingbourne to Broad Street. I was even looking at potentially just jumping the hedge off the asphalt road here and skipping around this way. But it's visible. There's 2 hex, so we're gonna have to take Hollingbourne. So, but in this way, we can actually, whatever's at Leeds Castle won't have a say in what happens. It would just be Elfield we'd have to worry about. So anyway, some of this stuff we're gonna have to work out when we get there. But my feeling at this moment is to approach this thing from the northeast. Okay, now with all that talk out of the way, let's begin. My first move is going to be to unload my point unit. Again, we're starting out under the guns of the the enemy. I don't particularly like. This is just a personal preference, but I've always, in any war game, board game or otherwise, never favored having my units start out in under the guns of another unit, or at least in range of another unit, or within visual range, or not visual range, that's not fair, but you know what I mean. There could be guns here, right? If there were, they didn't shoot at me. And now I'll double time and use a core unit as bait, essentially. Okay, that's good. Let's just, again, to be safe. Still no one shoots. So if there was somebody here, they wouldn't have been able to shoot. So we haven't probed that hex. But here is interesting. That's 4 hexes, one away from the rifle platoon range. So maybe there is just a rifle platoon there, but we can't be too sure. Here as well, a machine gun in either of these positions would very likely have shot, or an AA gun, or some other heavy piece of heavy equipment. Okay, but we still haven't cleared out this hex, and so now we will do that. Let's unload. Yeah, let's unload one of my units. Double time. It can't be that easy, can it? Wow, for some reason I was convinced I'd be shot at. I think I've just got PTSD from the last scenario. Just, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, they're everywhere, and they've got what they need to do us damage to us at every corner, so. Okay. A little pause while I think about what to do next. Okay, I'm back, and I've decided to move these trucks here. And load you here. And unload the good captain here in his truck. Double time. Okay. Double time. So this is what we're going to do now, just to really bait any shots from anybody in this location. There's 2 hexes here that he can see. He didn't shoot at the trucks, so we're going to move him here, here, and now we'll bring the leader up just to bait that hex a little bit more. Give the opportunity to shoot, and for the enemy to shoot. Then you'll go here, and you'll go here. Both go here. Okay, I'm fairly convinced that there's no heavy equipment. Huh. All right, well then I'm still going to carry out with my plan of clearing out these forward positions. Again, under the theory not putting all your eggs in one basket, I'd like to have some kind of force, at least if not charging and pushing forward, probing forward, trying to do more damage to the enemy than they do to us, and perhaps even soaking some RAF air raids in the process. But yes, of course we will do the end around mission with at least one of our companies and probably all the reinforcements. And I forgot to mention we took a shellacking in the last scenario, a good gut punch in terms of casualties, and this is like, to me, the crux of playing an LCG. You really don't want to lose too many units, too many SP. It can adversely affect the, uh, you're really always working to that last scenario. You need to preserve or have enough of an army left to play the last scenario. You don't want to be going into the final scenario. In this case, we understand it to be, um, a battle in London. We don't want to lose that, or else we essentially lose the linked campaign game. So, in hindsight, I would have, should have, I guess, I could have sat on my laurels for a minor victory and probably had used that, probably gained back an SP if I had not pushed so hard for that major victory. And insofar as I can tell in designer's notes, that a victory of any kind, minor or major, would get me to this scenario I'm at anyway. So I did all that just for bragging rights, I guess. So I'm not above taking a minor victory if it means, what I just mentioned, gaining back more than we lose, making the force more robust, and achieving victory in the final scenario. So all that to say, I'll take a minor victory here if it means I don't get beat up like I did in the last scenario. So at some point I think I'll be settling. But again, we want to force the British to sue for peace, and the only way we can do that is to drive into Buckingham Palace. So that's true. Keeping your eye on the ball is essential. All right, let's continue. I'm going to go ahead and start staging the empty transports. Let's make sure that this isn't, yeah, this is okay. Actually, move here first. Yeah. Get those motorcycles out of the way. Okay. Let's, Let's do this. Let's move you here. Here. And load. Again, I'm going to be using these units to attack leaf ham. So I'm just going to be moving units forward in that line of thinking. So here, just a little hesitant about moving that close to the. You know, I still am just not. You can never be too sure. Yeah. Okay. Last. Oops. Empty. Yeah, the engineer platoon. This guy I'm actually going to move here and unload so we can start clearing this. Have the option to start clearing that immediately. So, engineers forward. And parachute 40. Where can you go? We'll go ahead and overload this hex. Again, you don't have to worry about artillery or aircraft on the enemy's first turn. Yeah, we'll move here. Okay. Now, you guys I want to stage on that road. Do not get out. Check this one more time. Okay. Here. 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 That. Interestingly, we've blocked line of sight. We've used human smoke because this hex has 18 points of strength in it. But again, the only reason I did this is because nobody can really see them, so we should be safe there. Okay, now the tanks. Really want to be in a position to shell. Two hex range. I want to be at a 3 or a 4 hex range to both of these, so I gotta find a common hex. 1, 2, 3. Well, here will do nicely. Okay, now for this southern end of this. Actually, we're gonna want to move the headquarters. I think, right? No, that's because this hex is blocked. Yeah. I guess that's it then. We'll move right behind these woods. Oh, whoops. Couldn't do it. Okay, well, we'll move again next turn. And these tanks... go here. Okay. These transports are empty. Let's go ahead and move them here. Unload. Fall back. Here. Unload. Fall back. Here. Unload. Okay, little risk. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much it, I think. So the next thing we want to do is bring down our artillery. Or should we pack them up and move them up? Let's pack them up and move them up. They're mountain guns. Offboard obviously can't be moved, so these two positions, since they can see the hill, are, to me, the most important at the moment. So we'll drop 2 in here and 2 in here. No air raids needed this turn. All units have been considered, and we will give the enemy its turn. Mines. And they give us our turn back to us. Interesting. Okay. Yes, there's some enemy. No obvious effects. Let's move our fatigued unit and see if we can bait a rifle platoon to shoot. No. Okay, let's move Major Geis. No. Okay, let's clear the hex. There he goes. Okay, Major Geis. Or Captain Geis. Okay, now we can see this rifle platoon and this rifle platoon. And our mountain guns can at least provide some direct fire, so let's unload and shoot. Okay. Let's go ahead and double time this guy and hope that he can bait this rifle platoon's shots. Come on. No. Dang. Okay, let's move you. Well, before we get on with it, let's make sure we can do something to this. This is a leader, this is a threat for sure. So yeah, let's shell this guy. Excellent. Now let's shell the other guy. No effect. Okay, let's bait the shots with our parachute 40 platoon. Okay. Good. Okay, and now we will move into this roadblock. Start to remove it. But we will need to... We really want to... I'm worried about this guy rallying, and then having a leader with him makes him far more effective, so whatever. We'll take a shot. Yes! That helps. Every bit helps. Okay, we've done some suppression work on these guys. We've got the roadblock getting cleared. Probably mines here. Could be mines there as well. Suppose the first thing to do is try to bait a shot out of this position. Or we could focus... yeah. You know what? Let's handle one of these objectives at a time. Let's advance. Shoot. Advance. Shoot. Advance. A long range shot. Okay. Okay, mortars. Yeah, just shell him. You can move here because you're a half platoon, without overloading it. So, we're all working together to take out Leafham next turn. Or just if we can get this thing down, cleared in one turn, I'd feel much better about going on that flanking mission. Okay, so let's move. Yeah, 3, we can move here safely for the most part. As they'll all be shooting at this they're going to be shooting at our engineers. But both units are disrupted, one of them has damage, and we are in a village which provides 0.610, which is highly respectable. So we'll take that risk. Yeah, let's definitely get you here. Here. Okay, I'm going to keep these trucks close. Actually, I'm not for this turn. We don't know. I was wrong. I don't know what artillery assets they have, so we're going to maintain a healthy distance from our lead troops for the moment. These will stay put. They weren't seen on the British turn because of that overstacked hex, so we'll stay put. You guys, however, were, so let's jump off. Something like that for the moment. Okay. Follow you back. Oh, the mountain guns. Yeah. Let's get you down here. Reload. Oh, it's the wrong unit. Oh, hell. Jeez. Stupid. Alright. We'll be okay. Yeah. We just pack him up next turn and get him back up with his friends. Okay, so is that everybody? It is. Artillery. We only have one this time. Of course, you'll go on the most casualty producing unit, which is you because of the leader. And no Stukas, just give the enemy its turn. Okay. Well, I've got at least one gun somewhere. West. Yeah, that's tough. He rallied. Yep. Got the engineers up and they cleared the objective, but starting out at -1 or -5 VP. Look at this. In the hole. Well, we did some damage, so -2, but Jeez, what a bummer. But anyway, I felt it was necessary to get that taken care of. I would have smoked if I could have, but no smoke. So there must not be a rifle platoon because AI didn't shoot. Curious. So yeah, we'll do at least one more turn, probably two, before we call it quits here. Yeah, everybody rallied for them. Not good. Okay, let's use you and shell. Okay. And let's use, yeah, let's use you to bait a shot. Here. Okay, little pause while I think about this. Be right back. Yo, I'm back. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and shell this guy. Perfect. Okay. Motorcycle platoon goes here. Here. And now we're worried about this rubble hex. Oh no, we're not. We could... I don't think we are. Okay, let's... Dang. So the only way to get this guy this turn is if we get this guy right now. It can't be done. So we need to get into one of these three hexes. Bit of a risk doing this. Bit of a risk. Can we mitigate the risk? We sure can. Yeah, we'll move you here. Huh. Still no shot. Still, I don't trust them. I don't want to stack, though. There's guns, artillery falling on us, so... Okay. Yeah, we'll double time you. Move you here. And we'll double time you. Oh. Should have checked that. Oh, we can't get... Oh, that's right. The road doesn't apply. Okay, so what do we need to do? Take you. Yeah, we'll take you and move you here. Whew, still expecting to be shot at. Engineer platoon. You'll go to this hex. And then you'll assault. Goodbye. And now... Damn, we can't get into those hexes. We're gonna have to deal with this guy for another turn, it looks like. Damn it. Unless we move him. We could move him, might as well. Let's see if we see what happens. Yeah. That didn't help. Yeah, at least we're on the positive side of things. Oh my goodness. A mortar. and it didn't shoot. So it can shoot right now, and wow, and it didn't shoot. Jeez, 1, 3. Maybe it used all its action points in fire missions. Okay, let's move you 2 spaces and shoot. Good, some damage. He's down to 1 SP. Let's shell you. Running full steam. This is actually, we're going to need a machine gun. Yeah. I'm actually going to, should I take a little risk? If that mortar's on fire missions, then we might be able to crack off a shot. Let's attempt it. Good, disrupted him. Yeah, I think he's going to drop fire missions. Bit risky, I know, but gotta avenge that engineer SP loss. Okay, and then to bait this hex. Well, we don't know if there. Yeah, let's leave it alone for a turn and do some observation. We'll move closer. Like that. Might as well pick up these 25 victory points and destroy this mortar for the trouble of unloading and clearing this area. Okay. I'm gonna move a little bit aggressively. Chase those guys down. You? What can you guys do now? You're here, you're here, and we're gonna go ahead and clear up top and make sure everything looks okay for our initial run. Oh, did we? Yes. Good. They came in on time. So this is these are units that will essentially lead the flank. Well, are the flank along with our Panzer IV-Ds. Okay, good. Yeah, we'll wait you here 1 turn. Oh, this is interesting. Let's move here, load back up. Let's unload you and shoot that time. Okay. Let's maneuver around. Yeah. Okay. We need to kill all these guys. Yep. Yep. We're gonna bring some empty trucks to do the job if needs be, and it appears that it needs be. Let's put here. Yeah. Here. And yes, you can use these again to clear up any questions. It's kind of gamey, but you can use them, of course, to block routes of retreat by the enemy. So that's what I'm doing with those. All right. Yeah, we'll wait one more turn and then go chase up to our infantry company and load them back up. Okay. Again, just a little worried about artillery, so let's wait one more turn before we go flying off the handle. Yeah. It's the range. One hex off. Let's move forward one hex, call down an indirect. Actually, no, since we have off-board artillery, it'll be much over muchness. Speaking of off-board artillery, let's pound this hex. Okay. Oh, yes, you're low on ammo anyway. Let's put you picked up. Start the road. Okay, I think that's good. Let's give the enemy its turn. Wow. So it's somewhere up here. Yeah, indirect fire missions. Phew. Okay. Boy, that was 6 fire missions in total. That was nerve-wracking. Well, as much as I hate to admit it, I think those units got away. Beautiful. Beautiful. And of course this position is fortified. La-di-da. And we see some trenches, more mines. Yeah, I bet you this will be something of a bloody mess. I really want these guys dead. I want that leader. Okay, what's the time hack? Okay, we're, I think, far enough into it. Let's close this video. So, we've done 3 turns, 1/6 the way there. Boy, I guess it was a smart move for my motorcycles to just stop where they stopped, and the trucks too. But yeah, there's definitely some artillery in this area here, maybe even further back. Steed Court, but we'll definitely send someone up there to have a look, because that's where the fire direction is coming from. Disrupted, but trenches here, so yeah, the only way we're going to get rid of them is to shoot them out. The only people who can do that are the Stugs, because they ran off so good last turn, the enemy. Okay, alright, enough of that. Thank you for watching this. All the best from the good captain, and bye-bye.